In all the time that I've been alive, like in the kind of political field, watching and observing, participating, cultural warfare, etc., something that has come up time and time and time again is that people are so ready to tribalize, categorize each other, put each other into different camps of thought, labels and whatnot. And categories do exist, categories are important. But it's more so become like putting badges on people. Like, this guy's a cuck, this guy's based, this guy's a libtard, this guy's like too extreme, etc. This guy's a race traitor, this guy's this guy's that. And that started with kind of right-left warfare, but I see it constantly applied to people from the middle right all the way to the far right and everything in between. And if you're not retarded, then you can tell the difference between those people. Hopefully you can. But people are so... Because most of this is online, for better or for worse, people are so ready to dismiss, insult, and berate one another in an unfraternal, unashamed way. It's not like, when you need to admonish someone, like, I've got a brother, I have to sometimes. I got friends, I have to sometimes. There's a difference between admonishing someone, like, look, I got to tell you exactly how it is, what's going on, what your deal is, look, we got to hash it out. There's a fine difference between that and, like, hounding someone and just chasing after them and attacking them. This is kind of concerned with the reply guy, type man. Oh, my favorite streamer is picking a fight with this other political streamer, so I'm just going to, like, chase after that guy for the next 4 months. One awful example I saw this year was Nick Fuentes and Trent Horn. Trent's calling Nick this, Nick's calling Trent that, going back and forth, but, Nick took the option of attacking his family and having his followers comb through clips of Trent, which all of Trent Horn's clips are Catholic apologetics. But they had to go and find one of his wife and accuse her of being a whore by twisting her words. And you'd think that while you're watching a Catholic streamer that's supposed to be your brother in faith, that you would then, remember that you're in this with Christ and in this with your fellow man. We're all in this together. And you wouldn't attack someone like that, but I still see those reply guys to this day. Another example is, like, when you find some kind of Wigger nationalist pagan type ready to attack a Christian, you're a Christ cuck, that's a dead Jew on a stick. I gotta quit saying frankly, I picked that up from a stupid video. They say dead kike on a stick, which is a pretty awful thing to say, and Lord forgive me. I'm just demonstrating the language, pardon me. But people got so used to dealing with their political enemies in coarse and inhumane ways that once they start to shrink the camps they're in, shrink their school of thought, like really put up fine lines and thick walls, they easily attack people who are supposed to be their allies this way, Show some more heart and empathy to people. Like, show some more love and kindness, You have to. Love your fellow man. Love thy enemy. Love thy brother. And one and the same. I see this channel. It's all about, like, race realism and, like, Mother Europa and decoupling Christ from Europe, as if Europe wouldn't have been the same as Africa, just completely tribal and disordered and chaotic. We would have been just like that without Christ. And this video, it was like, what were it? It was about like showing mercy to the enemy as weakness, and some hard ass like chest thumping message. And all the comments are just LARPing. And it's, what was it? To my brother, everything. To my enemy, the law. Just shut the hell up. You know? People are so into themselves and have their heads so far stuck up their asses today that they just get caught up in like narcissistic dopamine cycles, you know. Show some love. The next time you get into an argument with someone, show them some love, you know. Be kind to them. Hear them out. I really have nothing but respect for Charlie Kirk's model of prove me wrong now. You know, maybe there's cringe, maybe there's coal in it, maybe there's gems. But, you know, the man's life was lived pretty fairly. And I respect that greatly. So, don't be getting into arguments over who's the most based, or like, look how cucked this libtard is. Like, you know, you see someone that stands against everything you stand for, don't let them stab you in the back, right? But show some love. Because Christ loved us more than anything, more than I could imagine in 1,000 years. Show some love and be good to your friends, and be even better to your enemies. You know, we got to be kind to people. That's my message for the day.